always forces us, not even forcefully, to level up in every single dimension. Extremely successful in most different areas. Like I said, she's our big sister, auntie,
Our OG.
our OG, the OG. Please help me bring to the stage, Miss Michelle.
So I don't get to dance anymore. This is really loud. Okay, so how y'all doing? Y'all all right?
Yes.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so do I have permission to just give it to you straight?
Yes, please.
Straight up, sure? All right, so those of you that don't know me. Anybody not know me? Cool. He doesn't know me. Got it. All right, everybody else. So I am the senior director of communications. I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna just make it something cheaper. Got it?
You want no smoke? You want no smoke? Whatever she say.
What'd you say?
Executive.
That's my president.
President,
Whatever.
like president,
Whatever.
president of communications.
Queen of communication.
I like that.
Ooh.
Consider it.
Whatever you want.
No.
The wheels are connected.
Got it. All right. So, for those of you that don't really know me, I think it's important that I kind of preface everything that I say with who the hell am I? At CAU, I'm sorry? I said baddest bitch on the planet. I am the baddest bitch on the planet. So for many years, I was the only female African-American public utility owner in the nation. So I owned a telephone company in Las Vegas, Nevada. Took it from 300,000 to 36 million. Did over $100 million in 3 years. Lost it all in 9/11, but then I rebuilt back my $1 million business in about 5 months. And now I help entrepreneurs build their own $1 million business. Yeah. Part of the story is that I lost it all. Yes? Yeah. And so as I was listening this morning, I'm gonna share some really tough truths with you guys. Is that okay? Yes. You sure?
Yeah.
Always. No, for real, for real. If you want me to tell you the truth, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Okay, so first truth, and get your plain piece of paper out, so you can write this down, is that oftentimes money makes you stupid.
Come on now.
Why?
Cause it hides.
Sure, right? As I said the last time, that it covers up a whole lot of flaws in your business. And you think that you are, because you are making money, that it's okay that I don't follow the play. It's okay that I don't email every day. It's okay that I turn my ads off. It is not okay. It may be okay for these 30 seconds. Oh, we ought to start charging you for that shit. Can we add some tax on his?
Absolutely. I can pay it.
It's not okay. Y'all got quiet.
Listening.
Because in a minute, you're gonna be in trouble. And so the reason why we keep it at here is the plan, so that you can't screw it up.
Yes.
Okay, so anybody have any bad months yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the business, any bad months?
Yeah.
Guess what? You're gonna have another one. And another one. And the success of your business is determined based on your ability to weather that storm. So my good friend Marquel says something that's really amazing. And he says, you know why I'm always good in what I do? And why I do it with the utmost integrity? So when the shit goes bad, I know it ain't me. See? Because it's gonna go bad. So in your business, when the shit goes bad, you don't know that it ain't you right now. Because you don't know, well, is it because I didn't send out daily emails? Well, is it because I haven't run my ads 24/7? Is it because I haven't retargeted? I'm not gonna look at y'all. They ain't even looking over. That's cool. Is it because of that? What is it because of, right? So. Look at this one. We can always go and fix it. You see, we can always go and fix it. So with your numbers, we know what's going on in your business. So when you come to us and you say, my application costs are $800, we know that your messaging is wrong. Actually, we know that your talking head video is incorrect. Okay, if you say nobody's clicking on my ads, we know that your ad is wrong. If you say, you know what, my opt-in percentage is at 80%, we know that your headline is incorrect. You see, so we've broken this down into these pieces and in the pillars that you go through the program so that we can help you and we can help fix it for you. Do you want help fixing it?
Yes.
Yes? Yes. Okay, run the fucking play. We got one. Just run the play. That doesn't mean add extras on it. That doesn't mean, well, I don't like that part. Guess what? Building $1 million business requires you to do things you don't like. So I said something controversial a while ago, and I got a lot of haters online. And that is that if you weren't a good employee, then you're probably not going to be a good business owner. True. People say, oh my God, no, you don't know. My boss, they're not. Well, that's number one. You haven't taken responsibility for what's going on. Yeah. What requires you to be a great, or what the requirement is for a great business is you need to be diligent. You need to be persistent. You need to work extra. You need to stay until the task is done. And if you've never done that, guess what's going to happen when you get challenged?
Quit.
You quit. You don't do it. That's why they were so mad at Allen Iverson. Practice? You're talking about practice? You're not talking about practice. Yes, we are talking about practice. Because yes, you are the superstar, but your team needs to understand how to play with you. Where is your spot on the court? How fast you run? Right? If they don't know that you're running 3 miles ahead of them, then how are they going to be able to pass the ball so that you can get set up in the correct position? Yes, it is all about practice. And so you practice running these so that when it goes wrong, the investment that you're making every single month with us, we can use it to fix it. So is that fair? Yeah, can we move forward with that now?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, here's my next thing. The anatomy of $1 million business, if you truly want to know. I've got like 5, 6 things that I wrote down earlier today that I think can help. Is that good? Because I just totally threw out my old presentation. Because y'all not ready for it yet. And we're doing this out of love, not out of, right? Like, because I really want to tell you of what happens when you vet 4,869 applications. And what the good ones look like, what the bad ones look like. But that's not what we're gonna talk about. Okay? All right. So here's the first number one thing. And you can write this to yourself, and you don't have to tell anybody else, but you have to tell yourself the truth. Because you get caught up so much in impressing the people around you, right? Because you're so much better than those folks that are around you. You're making way more money. You know so much. You've been studying for years, so you know, so you can impress them. And then you come here and you go, damn. Right? So tell yourself the truth. Have like an honest conversation. Number two is everybody needs a therapist. So all three of us have a therapist. All right? Marquel, Dre, and I, we all have a therapist. Because you don't know what you're doing. You're making decisions that don't make sense. All right. Eliminate the emotion. Number two, eliminate emotion. Number
two, I seek a therapist.
Oh, yeah, that can be super therapist. I figured everybody was already seeking a therapist. Number one, tell the truth. Number two, seek a therapist. Number three, eliminate emotion. Number four. Okay.
We need to process.
You need to process. Okay, but y'all was all, now I'm staying. Come on, mama. Stop staying. Yeah, there we go. You ready?
Yeah.
The other one is, Mark said it earlier, and I put it on my list already to talk to you about, was that the numbers create certainty for you. And they create confidence for you. The numbers create confidence for you. So when you look at the numbers, now you're confident about, well, I know, but then not the snippet of numbers, the long-term numbers.
Yeah.
Right? So one of the things that I did in building in order to get to $3 million a month was I created a number that was my trick off number. Because I was in Vegas, so. Another reason why I'm not married, I'm not confused by the fact that I've never been married. I'm not confused at all. Because her mouth gets real disrespectful to me. And, you know, it's kind of hard, evenly yoked thing, right? Yeah, it just doesn't work. But have that number. That's your number that I don't care how much I'm gonna spend this every single month. Do y'all have that number that you invest in your business every single month? Do you really? Not like a budget, but like a number that you're gonna spend in ads every single month.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. That you do it no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what? Okay,
It's been,
we got two.
it's been interesting.
Anybody else? We got three.
We're gonna figure that out tonight.
There you go. But there's gotta be a number that you're okay with. Cause that's the number that you play with. Yes, that's the number that you say, okay. Cause if you're spending it and it all works, then you should be increasing that. But instead, y'all are creating new office. You're creating all kind of stuff that it's like, what the hell are y'all? Right? It should be just spending it more where it is. Ooh. Y'all can smile when you look at me like, dang, okay. So what do I mean by money makes you stupid? So the worst thing ever, so I worked with a bank. So a bank hired me to come in and just coach all of their entrepreneurs that got loans. Right, so once they got approved for the loans, they hired the Citibank in Vegas, hired me to just coach them. And every single person said the same thing. Well, how am I supposed to sell anything without a business card? Well, what about my website? Well, what about, and I'm like, those are just crutches. Those are just crutches. If you really want to know how to build $1 million business, because they all ask me, great, go sell 2 people on your current offer. Go sell 2 people. People unrelated to you, go sell them. Cool. Number 1, you have to be your first salesperson, right? So it's gonna help you with what you need to say. And number 2, it's going to validate your offer. So while you're creating it and not everybody saying, hey man, yeah, girl, that sounds good. No. Because she doesn't really know what to say. Right? She's just helping you out. So go sell 2 people. And inevitably they would say, without a business card, without a website, without a, oh, I got an office, come see my office. Money makes you stupid. You think you need all of those things to get to where you're going. You don't need any of that. What you need to be in business is what? A customer. Hell yeah. Right? A customer. So they used to ask I think it was Gary Halbert, one of those old copywriters, it's like, okay, if you're opening a hamburger stand, what's the number 1 thing you need? Hamburgers, yeah? Anybody else?
Customers.
Absolutely. But not only a customer, but a what? A
Okay.
starving crowd. A starving crowd. Somebody who's hungry. Because you just can't get a person. So now I want you to think, who are the people that are hungry for your business right now? Right? That's how we do.
That's good.
Right, that's good, right? And for you, Mark, that's why you can't take us to the movie. Thank you, he laughed. Because we mess up the whole thing. Right? We just got comedy.
You'll have a conversation.
Right. We all love it, you know? Yeah. So now, is that making sense?
Yeah.
Sorry, who's starving for your offer? Who's starving for it? Who is that person? So we did so much avatar work.
Yeah.
In CAU in the beginning, remember?
Yes.
And so any educated folks here? Anybody have a BA, BS? Yeah, okay, master, doctor? Okay, because most of y'all know how to get an A on the exam. Yeah, instead of really testing out this work. Is that not the truth?
That's true.
Yes. But I'm hustling first, I love that. So I had a gal who in BA, she came to me and was like, oh, yeah. I said, all of this is you proved to me that you could write this on this paper. But you haven't tested any of this. Like, what are you doing? That's why we invest in it all the time. So that now we can say, all right, are my emails actually working? You could just send an email and say the same thing every single day. That part, right? And guess what'll happen? You'll get somebody who replies to you and say, something's wrong with your system, but I got the email every single day. And you go, oh my goodness. But guess what? You send an email every single day.
Follow the instructions.
Yes?
Follow the
Just
instructions.
follow the instructions. All right, so. He's laughing, but it's so flippin' true. You're complicating all of it. Even if you got on and did a live, because you're supposed to do that how many times? Once a day. And you say the same thing every single day, you got different people. Or the one stalker that's crazy and he doesn't care anyway.
She doesn't care.
Or she doesn't care, or both. You don't know, I have this gal that she replies to every single email I send. I don't know. But she does, God bless her. Right? Okay. So. Trying to think of the nicest way to say this.
It's gonna be real.
I'm gonna get my charger.
Okay. So the reason why we don't want you to switch around is because it's really hard to leverage something that's new. That you have to learn to work through. So when they come to us and they go, well, I'm already using Cartrap, can I just keep it? It's like, but how are you gonna get any support?
Right.
And when it
That
screws
part.
up, what are you gonna do? And when you call Cartrap and say, well, this is what it's supposed to look like, they don't know. So that's why we want you to use our stuff. So we can support you through the process. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So then why the hell ain't y'all doing it? Just tell me. Why? What do you think it is?
Well, I know for me, I've been using it for a long time, and I feel like, I have all my emails, built up on there. So the thought of changing over is, kind of hard, because I've been using it for probably the last 5 years.
Now, money solves that problem, by the way, because it's hard for you. But we have a term at CAU that we state all the time, and it's like, we pay people for that shit. We pay people for that shit. It ain't you, right? Infusionsoft, Keep, whatever their name is now. By the way, I used it in my telephone business because everybody said that you should use it. I was like one of their first testimonials. Yeah. It's overpaying.
Yeah.
All right, so anybody else, why aren't you using it? So Marquel sent you guys the book. It's the who, not the how, right? Okay, so you've been using that one. It's who should be doing this? Or do we just not want to spend the money? Is that what it is?
Sometimes it's that part.
Sometimes it's that part? Okay. So then let's make a commitment before we leave. That whatever it is, we're gonna make the investment in our business so that we can truly get to the money. Because that's the problem, is making the investment in the business. If you went to McDonald's and you bought a McDonald's franchise, you wouldn't be saying, how little can I spend? When they tell you that you have to buy the ketchup from them and the napkins from them. Your money is best used investing in your business. That's the only thing you can control. So I don't invest in the stock market. Why? Because I know that what kind of chaos goes on in my own business. What makes you think that chaos doesn't go on at Apple? It does. It goes on everywhere because people are people. So you've got this gold mine sitting there, Acres of Diamonds. Y'all all read that book? Yeah. It's a great book if you haven't read it. But you've got the acres of diamonds sitting there right around you. But we gonna step over it looking for some more shit. I love you for free. So I really do. I wasn't going, I wasn't going, I'm just half by.
Give it to me.
Nah, because you said you was mad earlier, and I know your background.
His reputation precedes him.
There we go. So here's the other thing that happens when you change your offer every year too. Or when you keep adding new offers, yes, is because you get confident in winning in this one. So you think that this next one is gonna work automatically too. And the next one. And do you know that those that have been in this internet street, so I've been here since 2005, that there may be 200 offers before you get one that works. So if you've got one that works,
You work it.
you work it until it doesn't work anymore. Man, so that's why all the time we're going, wait, what? And then you did, well, why wouldn't you? And it's almost like we've, I talk to them all the time and I said, Dre says, it's like we gave a 16-year-old a Maserati. Right? He can drive, but he's gonna wreck it. And eventually, we're gonna come here and you will have wrecked it if we don't fix it really quickly. So that's why we changed up everything. Cause I'm like, ooh, they're gonna run that into the ground. And then I'm gonna go, well, I'm gonna go back and do what you told me to do, it'll be too late. It will be too late.
This space is God.
Right, whatever it is. The jet, if it's a Volkswagen, shit, if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna run that son of a bitch into. Okay, so allow yourselves to be humbled, because the business will humble you very, very quickly. Oh, Jesus. Jesus, amen?
Yes.
Amen. It'll humble you before you know it. So be real careful about straying too far from, here it is. Here's the box. Stay within those 7 things. All right? All right. I'm done preaching. Let's talk about my favorite content strategies. How about that?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. Look, y'all all excited. All right, so you were saying, how in the world can we do an email a day, a video 3-5 times a day, all of this content? Yes? Okay, you guys all have an offer, yes? Everybody's got a Godfather offer?
Yes.
Okay. So you wanna take your Godfather offer. So how many sessions is your Godfather offer?
12.
12, right? Because y'all all just took a CAU thing and made it 12 weeks. Yes? You teach something different all 12 weeks?
No, yes.
No? How many different things do you teach them to do in the transformation process? 8,
Oh, 6.
5,
6.
6. Okay. So you take your 5 to 8 and you list them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go, right? So Tarita, what's the first thing you have them do?
During the 6 weeks, first identify like who is their audience and how do they serve them.
Awesome. What do you do week 2?
Week 2, we talk about the money. So I teach them how to, right now, I'm teaching them how to make $5,000 before the book comes out.
Perfect. What do you do week 3?
Week 3, we go into talking about like editing. With the process that we do. It's either 3 or 4, but I introduce them to our editor and let them know the process of that.
Perfect. 4.
Then we're gonna start working on your chapters and your sub-chapters, foundational work. Possibly by that point too, they already have identified the title of their book.
Great. And 5.
5 is just kind of like more review and just preparing them for the 3-day writing events. So just finalizing everything.
So why do you do the review?
Because a lot of times they might have questions. I want to make sure that when they get prepared for the 3 days, they're just ready to write and they know exactly like who they serve, how they serve them, game plan, everything.
Perfect. All right, so everybody right now, write down your steps of your Godfather offer. Leave some space in between it.
Well, no, that's just from a book camp.
I got
you. Okay, cool. Okay.
Right. Let me know when you're done. We'll take some mood music. Wes? Well done, Shannon. 2 minutes. Yeah. That's what I do. So I need to start first. Right, right. All right, y'all ready?
Almost, hold on. I'm getting a lot of value out of this too, so thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. It's the bonus of being on G.
I'm just saying it's crazy because out of all the changes, and I haven't even looked at this in a minute, when I look back at it, it still works. Just for this right here. It's fire. I'm fire. I'm the best.
There you go. So you gotta know that. All right, I can hear rumbling, so that means that you guys are all done. So each piece that you have here in your 8 sessions, in your 5 sessions, in your 4 sessions, you're gonna take 3 subcategories for each category. Right? So identify your target, who you're gonna write the book to. All right, so what else about that? How do you teach that? What do you tell them? What should they look for? What's the mistake that they're gonna make? Yes.
Yeah, I said this makes
It
it.
makes sense?
Yeah.
Did you bring your son?
No, I didn't.
Oh, he's so cute. All right. Okay. So write those 3 things down so that you have them. Then you're gonna go to the money, or step 2, and you're gonna write down the 3 things. So Shannon, you look confused.
I just can't see, I left my glasses.
Oh, I'm sorry. So it's
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
We're taking the steps, right? And each step, we're gonna make a sub-step of it. Okay? So it's just like if you're writing a book or anything else. So mine is $1 Million Equation, right? So that's the book that I wrote. So step 1 is creating your problem. What problem are you gonna solve? Okay, so you say that you want to build $1 million business. Great. So you say, oh, I sell candles. Okay, but what problem does it solve? Gives people light. Well, Thomas Edison has a rep on that. So you know how to hit the switch. Okay. So what problem are you going to solve is my step 1. But so with that, I start thinking, well, what problems do people have when they're thinking about their business? So guess what? Just like I just told you, that's the video I do. Hi there, you're thinking about building $1 million business. The number 1 problem you're gonna have is what problem do you solve for other people? Not thinking about what you sell, but think about what the problem that you solve. So here's 3 ways that you can identify what problem you solve. Now, how am I able to do that? Because I've mastered my subject. You guys have mastered your subject. You should be able to give me 10 on each one of these, not just 3. Yes?
Yes.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. So if we're doing podcasting, right? The first podcaster, here's what we do. You know, most people make their first mistake that they make in podcasting is they think that they need a professional setup. Actually, you have the best setup right now in your hand that you talk on all day long. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then the next thing is they're like, well, I don't know the technology. So you go down through, well, you know what, you can use Stitcher, you can use iTunes, or you can have them all connected together with an RSS feed. See, now they're like, oh my God, his content is great. And all you've done is gone through the different steps here. Yes, yeah,
Somebody's thinking this, because I heard it, so I'm just gonna ask it and say it out loud.
sure.
But I'm giving all my stuff away. Somebody's thinking that right now. So I'm giving all my stuff away. What am I gonna charge them when they get there?
You think?
Nah.
Well, you're actually, you know, you can give them everything,
They still need you.
right?
Yeah.
The content is not what they're paying for.
Yeah.
They're paying for you to cuss them out and kick them off the ledge.
Yeah.
That's why y'all are here. You all have $1 million business, and the people who aren't here, like, they think that they got it all together until they run into a brick wall, and then they go, oh shit. Can you, Markwell, can you look at their in his IG? Can you look at my content real quick? Can you look at my ads thing and just put the number in there so you can fix it?
Yeah, for 15,000.
Exactly. As soon as you drop that money, right? So the content, you don't even have to go deep in it. We're talking about a video that's, 60 seconds, 3 to 5 minutes tops.
Yeah.
Right? Even if you talk 3 to 5 minutes. So now they know Stitcher, okay. Well then, but do they know, should they use Anchor? Should they use a free one? What's gonna happen when they use Anchor? What's gonna happen when they don't have their own domain? What's gonna happen? You see what I'm saying? Like, you can go on and on and on and on and on. So after you've done all of that, then my favorite thing to do is, so we've taken this one, we've added 3. We've added 3 topics that are sub, right? And then from there, you do the top 10 things that people are asking. So if they go through, and you have identified what it is, now what are the top 10 frequently asked questions people ask you about identifying? And then, here's what truly sets you apart and where you make the money, is then you give them the top 10 frequently asked questions that they should be asking. That's good. Thank you. Normally I require you to do ding ding. when I give you one, but there you go. So what do I mean by should be, right? So people come to you and say, Dr. Jazz, I'm gonna kind of use you, okay? All right, I love you. All right, so she said, I want to learn how to use my tiny offer so that it can pay for my ads, right? So that's her frequently asked question. But what she should have been asking us is, how can I spend more on my ads because my ads are already making money? Right? Because her ROI is there. So then we can teach her about how we look at ad investments. Is if you're getting even a 1-to-1, a 2-to-1, you're making money, right? So why are we trying to eliminate this expense when it's already profitable? Spicita, will we ever do that? No, right? My accountant. We'd never do that. We go, what? No, spend more money. Yes? So that's the question that you should be asking instead of what you asked. And the perfect opportunity for a video for your content. Okay. Any questions about that? So I do these top 10 and these top 10 on every piece of my offer. So now I have here, we just take it, right? So we've got 5 times the 3. So the 5 times the subcategory, right? So that's 15 already. And then each one of those have 2. So you got 300 pieces of content from this one little thing here.
Go ahead, Ron.
Wow. So you got this one right here, right? You're gonna do 3 subtopics. Okay, so what would your 3 subtopics be, Taria, for how to make money using your book?
How to pre-sell 100 copies of your book.
Yep.
How to get sponsorship from pre-order supporters.
Good.
And how to get your pre-order supporters to promote your book.
Good. Okay, so now she's got those 3. Here are the money. If I see you there with me? Okay, so she's got these 3 things. So with pre-selling, now she's got to do the top 10 frequently asked questions that people ask her about pre-selling. Yes, and then you take those stripper questions, I'm sorry, and an appropriate question, and you turn it in what they should be asking you here. So when you multiply, now you got 300 pieces based on each segment that you have. Jesus, hallelujah. Is that a ding ding?
Ding
ding. Yes.
Yeah.
So you should never run out of content. That's why we're like shocked when you say, well, what am I supposed to, what? What do you mean? Yeah. So what's holding you back from what you mean is you think that if I tell them my secret, that that's all I know. And they're gonna steal it, my competitors are gonna, right, that's not gonna happen. Because first of all, when you show up 300 times, you're gonna kill the game. Talk about domination. Because most people, the reason why Marquel dominates with tattoos and grills, all things people think that, oh my God, right? Because I'm on the application side. So I just laugh when I read what they think. Or when they go and there's 20 views because they think we're not making any money. I'm like, well, you know we're on track to do 25 million this year. And they go, oh, wait a minute, what? Jesus. Yeah, 25 million. They go, oh, Lord. For real? Uh-huh. Anything else? Look, anything else, motherfucker? So do you care that Hampton food the grill? Yeah, right. Shut the fuck up and get off my phone. Period. Bring that bullshit up. Look, they let me do what I do, so then I'm like, I don't get fired. I'm like, Lord, one time, so the guy, he was mad at me. He said he was gonna tell him, right? I was like, you need his number? So I said, well, I should probably. Oh, gee, what you telling me that bullshit for? I was like, okay, sorry. Well, he doesn't cuss me. He was like, what you telling me this for? Well, I was just wanting you to know. He's like, you give me his number. I'm gonna call him and tell him not to talk to you like that. It changed the game. Yes. So with all of this content, you've got plenty now.
Yeah.
Plenty to talk about. Even if you talk about the same, if the frequently asked are the same thing in each one of them, which they shouldn't be, because editing, they're gonna ask you a whole bunch of silly stuff, right? They're gonna be like, well, are they gonna change my grammar or change, what I want, because they're not, shut up, right? People don't buy your book because of the grammar. I misspelled Oprah in my book. I mean, $568,000 for my book. Ooh. I misspelled it. It auto-corrected to opera. You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about. All right, any questions about your content? Okay, so then you take the video that you just made, you transcribe it, and you make it an email. Now you have every day, you've got 300 days. And then when you get to 300, you can add your 65 that you've done.
You said take the video and transcribe.
Yes.
Yeah.
They got
Just upload the file.
No.
Yeah.
It ain't what, it's who.
Yeah.
Who, right? Absolutely.
Yeah,
All
they got.
right.
That is.
So now, who is gonna make sure that when I see you in September, they will have daily emails, 3 to 5, everything? Yes, only 2? How many more? Yeah? Everybody?
Transcribe videos and make those into email.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And social media.
And social.
And social media. So I have a Fiverr girl that takes all of my videos. She transcribes them. So look, she gonna ask to do the brand new, he's selling the coochie cleaner.
I was listening, I was writing Fiverr.
Yeah, we listen to that.
Right. Don't start whispering now.
So, yeah,
Oh my
I have a
God.
Fiverr girl. She takes every single video that I put on there. She transcribes it all. She fixed my grammar. So she's from the Philippines and her grammar is pretty good. And she writes all the content. So I also sent her my book. And she created blog posts from my book.
I want her name.
Yeah.
No, y'all can't have her.
She needs extra work.
No, she doesn't.
Yes, you do.
She'll be made on my stuff. You
She
really
wants-
is.
she wants the-
Right, 'cause she might go,
And say one order in queue.
she doesn't know how to, in Philippines, she just gonna take all the money and then
Yeah.
try to farm it out. So now y'all can't have my group. But so here's how I did, it. And here's how I use Fiverr. You wanna know how I use Fiverr? Okay, how I use Fiverr is I hire 3 people with the same task.
Yep,
It's $5.
let's see who get done the fastest.
Yeah.
Them race,
See who did it the best,
them race.
and then they get more work. Oh my God.
Yes, I ain't hiring.
Come on. Yeah. Come on now, that's a ding ding now. Ding ding. You just hire them. Cause who cares? And then you let them go. And if they get it, you don't.
Hey.
Yeah, come on, Keisha, that's my girl. Keisha. But that's how that all works. All right, so that's all I had planned. So now Q&A. I'll answer whatever question you want to know about building $1 million businesses, I'll even answer a couple on looking at applications, if you don't mind. All right, Shannon.
Okay, I just want to clarify your list. So you would take each of those and then create a subcategory for each of the 5?
Yes,
Okay,
so 3 things. So give me, what's your Godfather off?
that we help businesses scale and grow without using their own money
Okay, by doing what?
by helping them with their personal credit, building business credit, making sure their financials are in order and that their taxes are in order so that they look good to banks. And
So when they come into your program, what's the first thing you do?
we do a credit analysis, see where they are.
Perfect, so stop right there.
Okay.
Okay, so that should be number 1 on your list, credit analysis.
Okay.
Okay, so now you can have 3 subcategories based on a credit analysis. What are you looking for in a credit analysis? We're looking to a DTI, right? To make sure that your debt to income ratio is good. We're looking to see that you have varying amounts of credit, that you have it with different types of credit, that you don't just have credit cards, but that you have loans, that you have a car loan, that you have, right? So we're looking through all of that. All of those things are subtopics.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then you take that one, yeah? So let's say it is DTI. Now you do your top 10 questions based on what people ask you about debt to income. Right? So they normally ask you, do they really include student loans? Yeah, they do include student loans. Do they, if I'm trying to buy a house, what are they looking for? So now you got that frequently asked. And then you answer what they should be asking. Right?
Give me an example of that.
Okay, so what they shouldn't be asking you, my student loans are on deferment, can we not count those? They should be asking, how do I make more money so I can make sure that I can qualify for the house that I want? Does that make sense?
Yes, and so each of those 10 are content, and then the other 10, and then the other 10 is 10 more content.
Yes. On that one little thing. Okay. Cool. All right. Question.
I have a question, going back to the 7. What's it called? Market plan, yeah.
Okay.
One of them is have quality conversations. Can you give an example of a quality conversation?
Well, that's actually Marquel's plan, but I will tell you that quality conversations means when you are talking to people with their app, right? When they come in, you need to have a quality conversation. So I think Erica said the best thing earlier about, and here is my thing about applications is we talk to everybody. Because the number one lie that you guys believe
We ain't got the money.
is that they don't have the money and I'm not gonna talk to them today.
Yeah.
And you delete their application. That's not true. It might have been that they were busy and doing it on their phone. Yeah, so we made so much money off of people who didn't have a beautiful application. But quality conversations, what I would say for y'all is partnerships of other people that you can throw through your funnel because you guys don't do an application, right?
We don't, okay, I have to kind of.
It's okay.
That's what I explained to her.
Okay. Got it.
As far as the applications, your screening process and screening out, which is screening in, can you share that?
Look, not the video of me.
Okay, Beyonce paid it, that's the pay it.
Okay, yeah, I need it right there. Your body.
And
Hey.
are there certain, general questions, like we get all those different things?
Yes, so how about the number one thing that I would recommend every single person do here with your applications? You wanna know what that is?
Yes.
Take the call. Take the call. Take the call. Because first of all, you don't know if they're ready. How do you know? Right? How do you know? Second thing is, when you talk to them, you're gonna hear their objections and you're gonna get better at overcoming objections. Right? Because sometimes you'll hear one that you ain't heard before. You go, oh, Lord. Now wait, your grandma and your mama died in the same week. But then you can be more prepared. So the one, so my best friend in the whole world danced all over the United States and the world, right? And so she danced with Frida Payne. So you guys may not be old enough to know who Frida Payne is, but you might know her song. Since you've been gone. No?
No.
All that was left is a band of gold. Oh, sing, girl. Sing. So anyway, so Frida says that you never know when people are around you with pictures, right? So she says you need to fix your face all the time. So she always says, like this. So if you ever see me like that, it's because I'm about to say something or whatever. But because of that training, I always know that they can say whatever they want to me, and I'm not going to be affected. And you have to practice that. So before I bought the telephone company, I was promoted 5 times in 4 years. And every single person at the telephone company was older than me, everybody. And I had to fire my first person. So now I know how to lovingly release people. Okay, like Marco and them laugh all the time. It's like, they go, how'd it go? Like, it was nothing, because I know how to lovingly release them, right? But before that, she took me out to dinner and she had me fire her 50 times. And she said every crazy thing to me that you can ever imagine. She called me every kind of black fat bitch you can imagine, right? But I kept my composure the whole time. And because of that now I know, and that's what you want to do with those calls, with those apps. When they talk crazy to you, you just, okay, so obviously you want to keep your problem? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. So obviously you don't want help building your career. That's true. Is that what you're saying? Okay, no problem. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Lovingly release. That makes sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, if they're just crazy on the app and you don't wanna, you're protecting your peace, then I let those people go. But other than that, I have my sales team talk to all of those. All of them. Right, unless it's not a good fit. So I asked 2 questions. One is, can we help them? Number 2, do they want help? Right? So can we help them? If we can help them, then why wouldn't we take the call? And they'll tell you in the application. And by the way, the ones who pour out their heart, 20% of them buy. Most of them are so broke that they're just desperate, just looking for help. All right, all right. Any other questions? This is fun. Come on, you have some more. Yes,
Can we help? And then what else?
and are they a good fit?
Are they a good fit?
Yes,
You
so
said, do they want it?
do they want help?
Do they want help?
So here's the other thing that I think is really important, that some folks just take everybody, right? And you don't want to take everybody. You want to look to see, is it an easy win? Is it an easy win? Can you get them to the finish line? Because all money ain't
Good money.
right. We've heard that forever. Yeah? And they're just gonna be a pain in the patootie. Yes.
That's what I say, no headache, buddy.
No headache money. It's not, it's just so not worth it.
That's rule number 1.
So can I help them? Are they a good fit? And then, yeah, how many? Oh my gosh, why I got 30 minutes? What else y'all wanna know? Nothing? Ooh, well, thank you. That means I was complete. Really?
I'm ready to go send an email. I'm ready to be.
You ready to send an
I
email?
want you to go sit down and send a break and send an email. I'm inspired.
You're inspired, yes. So the other thing too about emails is I think that people get caught up in how long the email has to be, right? Your email can be 2 lines. Done is better than anything else. So I used to just work with doctors exclusively. And C's get degrees is what they said. Right? You know, hey, you still get the degree, you can still see patients with a C. Okay? So you want to make sure that you're not trying to get an A every single time. You just need to get it done. Yeah? Okay. What else can I help you with? What, nothing? Nothing? All right, no more shame. Then one last thing. You sure? Yeah, okay. All right. So 2 things as to why we run 1-day events and 3-day events.
Yes.
Right? You want to know why we run them? Anybody? Okay. Anybody have any ideas as to why we run them?
Create a value chain, so they see the value, so they can be convinced that this will be the solution for them.
No, it's good though. Thanks, but that's not the reason why.
Market research, what people need. What they want.
Absolutely. For market research, and we do 1-day and 3-day events because that's our profit, that's just fun money. Because we got our other money down. So we don't use that to, because we need to make money from it. And so oftentimes, when I hear several of you doing the 1-day or 3-day events, it's because I want it to be another profit center, right? And that's not what we use it for. Our true profit center, if you really want to know, you want to know? Marco probably don't want me to tell you this, but I'm saying it anyway. Because y'all in here.
Yeah.
Right? But I gotta get you here. I gotta get you a win before you can get here. Because if you ain't winning, you ain't coming, you're not gonna stay. Yeah? So the 1-day truly is because now we've mastered it and now it's profitable. But it wasn't for months. Question. They're like, how does that work? I know, because we only run the play. This other play. We did that one for years. Even before I came here, they were already winning at that. And then when I got here, it was like during our strategic planning, I said, hey, look, we've got a couple of other profit centers that we can dominate. And they were like, okay, OG, which one? What do you think? I was like, here, we could do this, and this. All right, done. We got the master implementer. And so that's how we truly exploded, right? But we were already really dominating at that one thing
Yeah, that doesn't
before we were even open to doing the other.
fall.
So even adding people, right? So you remember how I taught you how to do the content a few minutes ago? That's how we treat everything at CAU. Is that we go deep in it. We don't just go, okay, well, let's just send out an email. We go, okay, how do we use the email to generate money for us? Okay, how do we send out 2 emails a day? Okay, how do we send out 3 since it's working? Right? Every single piece, we go really, really in. So when you guys say that you want to do something else, we're like, well, you haven't even maximized the one that you did. Ooh.
Yeah. So might sound like it's all over the place until I put it all together. I was just analyzing the way that the system worked. So I came in through the 3-day. So, but before I say this, because I know you said we're gonna make you an offer, you can't share it with anybody else. I wanted to comment about the wrapping in the investment. Can I speak on it? Okay, so everybody, okay, so just making sure I get the logic. So, because at the end of the day, I don't know what the 1-day experience looks like. I know what the 3-day experience looks
So the
like.
1 day sends you to the 3 day.
Okay, so the 1 day sends you to the 3 day and 3 days sends you to the mastermind. But at the end of the day, it's all just one system. It's just that the mastermind is a very extended, long deep dive. And by you taking out a chunk of the mastermind and offering it as a 3-day experience, then that's the justification for being able to make the offer look more appealing by saying that I will credit what
that
you've
amount.
invested, because we technically have already done the work that's inside of the modules just to make the offer look more sexy financially when the people come in.
Well, you definitely want to make your offer sexy, right?
Yeah.
You always want to make you want to make it irresistible.
Yeah.
That's why we call it the Godfather offer, right? But on the second piece, think through this here is for folks who are at a certain level, right? And have already experienced a couple of wins. So our inner circle is for people who took the 3 days, but didn't go live, didn't finish, they had every other excuse.
Gotcha.
Right? So then once you are making it, but because here, we're gonna teach you how to run a business. We didn't teach you how to run a business in the 3 days. What we taught you was one little piece. We taught you how to get a customer. And so many folks think that that's running a business until it isn't, until you're broke. And you go, oh, right? When your customer service doesn't match your offer. When people come through the system and it ain't working. Or when you said, I can teach you how to make $10,000 by writing your book and you ain't done 10,000 in the pre-sales. Right? But she's a master at that. So she knows how to do it. You see what I'm saying? So we just taught you how to put the right words together so that you could make some money. Now the proof is in the pudding of what happens after you.
Ooh, I was going to ask any tips for when you're hiring your first executive assistants to help you execute some of these things you're talking about?
Yeah, because truly, that's what you have to do, right? To get you to the next level. Because if you're doing it all, you are the bottleneck, right? But how you stay consistent is you hire somebody and that's what they do every day. Did you send out an email today? Oh, you didn't, for real, then you don't get to stay, right? Then on Wednesday, when it's payday time, I can skip a day. Yes, okay, so hiring your first, I think, are you gonna do that?
Or even some tips on some to-dos, just giving us ideas of to-dos.
So I would start with your SOPs, which is in the membership area. Make sure that you know every step of it and test it. It's kind of like the recipe. Before I give my kid the recipe to make the only dish that I can make, which is my infamous tacos, I have to be able to give her the recipe. How much meat, how much onion powder to use to cook it, right? So before you hand that off to anybody else, you have to give them the recipe. So I would write down all the things, so I have like my 4 Ds, right? So the first one is, do I do it? And do I do it well? I ask myself, do I do this really, really well? No, I really don't do it. I can do it. That's why we're entrepreneurs, because there's a lot of shit we can do.
Yeah.
But do we do it well? No. So then let's take that off of there, right? Then I look to delegate. I look to decide, like, is this something that's really important? And then the last B is it just a delete? Or just take it off the list? Right, this isn't gonna move my business forward. Yeah, so when I'm always looking for somebody, I'm looking for somebody who's a master at their craft, who's really good at that. I need somebody super organized because I am 1,000 miles a minute, and somebody who's not gonna be offended when they get an email from me at midnight. Because that's when I send them, at midnight. So if you're offended, then you ain't a good fit, right? Because you're not gonna dictate to me what time we do it. So right now I have a team of setters that we have a huddle at 1:30 in the afternoon. Why? Because I know I have a hard stop at 2:30. So we can't take long. And I'm doing CAU stuff from 5:30 when I wake up in the morning, all the way till 1, because it's about 4 o'clock and he finally stops texting about 2 o'clock until 7, and then he starts texting again.
You figured out, huh?
I do.
Since you don't-
I do. I just, patterns, everybody has patterns, right? So I need somebody so I had people who were pissed off that the huddle was at 1:30. So a lady who's in Ireland who said, well, that's 9:30 my time. Maybe this would be a good fit. Right? But wait, I gotta change. So the rule is, right, the golden rule. Yes, you guys remember the golden rule from the last time? Not do unto others, right? He who makes the gold makes the rules. So, hello, it's never fuck me, right? Ooh, I forget, but I talk like that in front of my own kids. So. Right. It's never fuck me. No, I have to make it so that it's convenient. Janet.
Back to the.
Look, when I told my kid that you buy them 2 at a time, and every 2 months, she was like, oh, we should do that, Mom, because my Air Force ones are like beat up. So, what, Marquel buys them 2 at a time and every 3 months? I was like, why would I ever tell that? Yeah.
So back to the event thing. So what is, okay, because I went through the
The 3
3 month,
Oh, the 12 weeks.
I went through the 12 weeks. So what's the difference? How do you decipher who gets what? And did you eliminate the 12?
Do you want the real answer? Okay, I can tell the real answer. All right, so the real answer is which program you go to is how much money you spend when you come through our original funnel, our one funnel. Okay, so when you come through our one offer, it's when you fill out an application, you come through, you go to the salespeople, they sell you on the 12 week. Because that one is 15 grand, right? Why would I ever sell you on a 3-day that's 3 grand? Hell no, I'm gonna get the 15 from you.
Yeah.
But if I don't get the 15 from you, then we kind of play with you a little bit. You might go to a 1 day where my boy just goes and smashes it and sells you on a 3-day.
Oh, so you down sell.
Not really, because then you come in
So if I said no, you sold me on the,
on what?
so if I said no to the 12 week, you
Right.
sold me on the 3-day.
We might have. It depends on when the 3 days are, if they're close. If they're not close, then we normally don't. We let you stay and stew in your problem for a while.
Emails every day.
That email is 1 day.
And then you get an email every day, and if you don't open that, then you get 2. And then then you get all of the Facebook stuff, and then we hit you with a podcast interview where I get to interview all of these folks here, and they keep talking about all that they doing, and you like, damn, I gotta be there, I gotta be there.
So, okay, so the people that say no to the 3 month eventually go to the 3-day or 1 day.
They may, or they come
It
back and
depends,
say,
it's no-
I'm ready. And then if they come back and say, I'm ready, then we shoot them back into the 12-week. But just in case
Yeah.
I don't make it home tonight.
So,
I'm
so
gonna-
I just figured 12 week is the mandate.
Yes, that's our growth program. And then everybody who comes through the 12, if you've done what you're supposed to do, then you upgrade to either the inner circle if you haven't finished, or this one right here. Yeah, makes sense? Well, we got one off, right? That's what we
And
do.
for context, we just start doing it.
Yeah.
Like, we can, like,
Yeah. We didn't, everybody would just do the 12 weeks. And if you didn't do that, we'd go, okay, fuck you, keep your problem. Because that's where we get to really build out the rest of our system, right? So you want to have your Godfather offer so that you can fund the rest of your business.
So you keep the ones who didn't say yes in a separate phone.
No, they go through the same thing. They get the
Everybody-
same
yeah.
emails, they get, you know what
Yes.
happens is Marquell is such a master at executing the 7-figure plan that you don't know what's happening. I swear, you don't know. But you keep going, oh my gosh, because I listen to the applications, right? Every day. So by the time they get on the phone with me, they're like, oh, I don't know what happened, but he's everywhere. He's on my feed, he's in my email. And you know what they say? The Lord said. I said, yeah. Ask us. So we see it. Make sure you go to Shannon's feed, right? But because it can't be us. Because they can't believe that we're doing all of those different steps.
Yeah.
That's how you dominate. That's how you stand out from everybody else. Because nobody else is willing to do the work. They want what it looked like, but they don't want to do the work. So you kill the competition by doing the work. And you don't even look at the numbers. When I hit my first million, I didn't even know. I didn't even know. What actually happened was I downloaded my transactions and I said, how much have I deposited in the bank? And it said 956. The key was deposited in the bank, right? Because I had some over there, every day, because people pay cash. I did a PRD. I just took $200 out of the till every day, put it in my pocket. So I was well over the million, September. And I had started in February. Right? So that the key is you just do the work and the money will follow. But if you don't do the work, then the money is looking for a place to go and it chooses somebody else who is doing the work. And his name's Marquell, absolutely. So we have a joke on the sales team and on the setter team, right? Is we go, if you don't get them before they go to the 1 day, then it's over. To the sales team, if you don't get them before they go to the 3 day, it's a wrap because he's gonna close them. And you're not getting no commission, so it's up to you, what you gonna do? So everybody starts running, you know, when they know that they got an event. I'm like, cause he's just gonna do his thing. So if you want it, you need to go get it, yes.
You said
Oh.
seven.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Yes.
Okay, so as we're talking, it's got me thinking, so, one of the things that I typically will offer on a discovery session is a scholarship, a fast action scholarship. However, this is the first one, or the first boot camp that's coming up that my fast, I used to have it where you could go for $29.97, then it went up to $39, and then like closer it was $44.97. I didn't even do any $29.97s or $39s. Everything has been close to, but this is also what I was telling him is that I've had a lot of people come up with reasons why they gotta come out. So my question to you, should I just keep at this as far as the scholarship? Because somebody messaged me the other day that I referred, and she was like, well, what's the special, because we came through you. I was like, I don't think you do no special phone calls. So do y'all offer a fast action scholarship? And then also,
We only offer it if they pay in full.
in full? Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so my second question is, what about when I do have those individuals that maybe back out? I was thinking about offering something where they can at least still come to the book camp, but I remove the latter part where we actually edit, format, do all that, and they can stick in for 29. But I would only offer to someone that is expressing like maybe they can't stay, or because I don't want to refund money no more, I'm tired of that. And I sometimes fear saying like you can't get a refund, because then they'll go and try to say they want their money back, and I don't want those types of hits on my processor, right?
So then just refund the money.
Okay, so I refund, but so don't offer the lower?
Why would you do that?
Okay, what about when they say, can I come to the next one? Then do I say you lose the scholarship, or well, I don't offer scholarship for, okay.
Right, so one of the things that I did in my telephone company, right, is that I said that they couldn't pay over the phone because I was scared of my merchant account. And I was like, no, well, I have to see the card, and I targeted credit challenge folks, so you know, they was already shady. But when I started to allow them to pay over the phone, my income tripled. My income, not the revenue, my income tripled. So make sure that when you make decisions, they're a good business decision, not just a decision to hold on to a working account, because we can go get 2 more of those. So I would say, if you're nervous about that, go get 2 more.
Okay.
Just, create another one, and then, but give people their money back. Because the one thing that you don't want is somebody out there talking shit about you.
Right.
And posting, you know what, and I paid it, and she didn't, because now you have to come back then. It's just easier, come here. So we refund so quickly. I was talked to a crazy the other day.
Right.
And I'm doing the voice note, right, to Marquel. By the time I hung up, I got the email from Bianca that said, hey, we refunded this check. like that's how quick we do it, because we just, here, take your money in your file. Yeah, cool.
It's kind of like a dual question. So one of the things we've been trying to figure out, and so he already did credit, business credit, already did bookkeeping and taxes. And so we tend to run into clients that only need part of our service, so they don't need everything. So should we ever,
Then are they a good fit?
right? And that's what we're trying to figure out is,
Right? I would say
you
they're
can't
not a
take
good fit,
everybody, right?
because you cannot leverage that.
Yeah.
If everybody's got a one-off and this one, you created a special program for this one, and then you have credit, then you have to be in it all the time.
Yep.
So you wanna make sure that this is our package. So when they come to Tree and say, I've already written my book, she said, well, you didn't write it the right way. Right. You know what I mean? I already built my personal credit great. You have an 850? No, it's 849. Well, shit, let's get you that one extra point. Obviously, there's some things that we need to work on. But everybody has to come through the same process, because if they don't, now you don't really have a business. You've got another job that now you're helping somebody, and here, I'll do your bookkeeping for $300 a month, and here, I'll do this, and now you got a mess. Right? It's like taking everybody's different recipe. Now you done fucked up the macaroni and cheese.
And that's exactly what
You
we're
don't get
doing.
invited back.
And the other part of that is, so you just stick to one program. So if they can't afford it, they just can't afford it when you are.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they can afford it. They can afford it. They're choosing not to pay you. So it can never be for me, right? Because when you say that you can't afford me, that's for me. Oh, no. Thank you very much. Good for you, good luck. But they will always come over. Do you know how many people say to us, all I need is Facebook ads? Really? Then why don't you Google? Darn shit. Well, I tried to do them, it didn't work. Oh. Really? Oh, ain't that something? So maybe you might need something other than the ads. Right? So then they tried to negotiate with our salespeople. We had a girl the other day. It was actually one of yours, Tria.
I know what you're talking about too, I already know.
Who said, can I just give you $2,000 and then I'll give you the rest when I have it? And da, da, da. Like she just made this whole fantastic program, right? Because she really, because when I went to her website, I'm like, she got her pixels. She's just trying to figure out how they ask. Right?
And then not give you less than.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So hey,
No, no.
I'm the OG. I've been doing this way too long, sugar. Yeah. So either you have your money or you don't. Yeah, makes sense. Dr. Mia. Hey, microphone boy.
You ain't gonna get paid, Marquel. Oh, you got a job, son. Right.
Like we all, we do talk to each other like that, so, you know, pardon us, we just open it up all kinds of families. Because 99% of the time, I'm telling him how great he is. You know what I mean? Is that not the truth?
You are.
Yeah, I'm like, you killed that, you are so awesome, you're amazing, so then I like to just kind of tease him. Yeah, no, funny story ever. Okay, you ready for this one? Yes. Okay, opening up the family meeting. So Dre is speaking at an event. Did I tell you about? So Dre's speaking at an event, and I see the promotion on my timeline. And I go, oh my God, Dre's so great, he's my favorite, right? So we're sitting in our daily huddle. It's like a couple days later, and Marco's like, all right, so we go through the huddle. Marco's like, wait a minute, I just want to know one thing. I go, what? He goes, I heard that Dre's your favorite. Oh my God. I'm like, no, you're my favorite. Well, if any of you guys have ever been on the triage with me, and when I'm setting you, I always tell them that the closer is my favorite. So I go, oh, you're gonna talk to Mark, he's my favorite. So they start going, wait a minute, you told me I'm your favorite. I'm like, damn. So the really fun story of how I got into the telephone business is I was dating 3 men in 3 different states, and I had a really high phone bill. Yeah, and so I was like, oh shit, I guess now I'm being exposed because that's what I did. Just telling you I'm my favorite. Right. Work him. She's like, yeah. Right. Dr. Mia.
So as I'm sitting here listening, I think that one of our hangups is that because we're a service organization and we always focus on the service part of it, when I'm thinking about my Godfather offer, I think that what's missing is that I'm focusing in on the services rather than focusing in on more of a coaching program that includes the services as one. So what I've been doing now is talking about, my pillars are great, this is great, but really what we should be focusing on is that the Nivella team is gonna teach you how to live this life. The result.
Or we're going to, right?
Right.
And just sell the transformation. Yeah. So for my client, we told them that we were gonna help them get into their favorite genes, right? We're gonna help them get great life, great sex, and great sleep.
That's
They're
what
like-
our new videos say exactly that.
There you go.
We're gonna
So that's
show-
all,
we're gonna
how
show
you do
how
it is none of their business.
This, that.
So then when we're talking about building the Godfather offer.
Yep.
So then for the coaching component, it should be the way y'all do it. And I'm just incorporating the service into it, but more of the focus of living a life of total wellness with like modules where they're going through that with the focus on themselves.
Absolutely. So I would just have them come in and everybody, step one is they gotta do the blood work or the spin test or the, right? And so then you design the program based on that. But they're all gonna get pellets because the testosterone won't help. I mean, it won't hurt any woman, right? So everybody gets them. Everybody needs to make sure that their hormones are balanced, that their cortisol is right, that they're, you know what I mean? You just go through those 4 things and it's a wrap. Yeah. Perfect. Alright. No, I've been around a long time. I've been there every business. If there's a problem in your business that I can't fix, it's because damn, I don't know. But I've been in these coaching streets forever. Yes, beautiful Monica.
I have a quick question. So recently we were contacted by a finance company that I guess I'm looking at them as a particular partnership for direct consumer financing. We get paid upfront, customer puts them on the back. How do you feel about that? To implementing it, especially with a coaching program?
Do you need it?
Do we need it? Yes.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so a lot of times they're, I guess it just makes the decision easier for our consumer that we have this available.
Yeah,
So,
2 options.
I want to be able to offer it, but how do you?
Yeah.
What's your experience? Have you ever dealt with anything like that?
Yeah, and I should probably, I'm a hard, no, but that's just me. Mike, what do you think?
I have a lot of data on this. So there's usually not going to be much of an increase in conversions overall. It will be negligible. But what usually happens is the people who need something like that, oftentimes they're going to have below 650. They're not actually going to get the financing, so they'll go through the application process and get denied. And anyone who has above a 650 generally has enough on their credit limits with their credit cards that they'll be able to make a purchasing decision. So in working with literally several hundred coaching programs and then installing that, at least probably somewhere around 70+ times, I don't see a big result ever.
Yes.
Thank you.
Because now you have to be the financer.
One person.
One, yeah.
And they're usually not as good at clients.
No.
I was gonna say that, that's also the determination of being on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And you want to have a better quality, right?
Yeah.
So those those with no money will always want it, by the way.
Yeah.
They will always want it, those with no money, right? And so it's those that, we keep trying to help, but that does nothing. Like you can look at what's going on right now with folks in unemployment, right? They're like, I'm getting this to sit at home. I'm going nowhere. Right? Because it's like, it is a mentality. The reason why we are here in this room, because we're different. We are the leaders of the world. We're changing the game for everybody. Us people in this room, right? We think differently. We don't go on a job and say, I need a raise because I've been here 6 years. Really? But you're doing the same damn thing. You still misspell from every time you do form. So why should I give you more money?
God. Uppercut. Ding, ding, ding,
See
ding.
what I'm saying? They there and there, right? You fuck up every time. All right, one last question and then I'm gonna get out of here. Anything else I can help y'all with?
I like when you talk about the hate.
The hate?
The haters, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you
What
talk
about the haters?
when you say why do people hate on you? I was just talking about that the other day. I just like how you put it.
Free press.
People hate on you because you're living out
Their ultimate dream, yes.
Free press.
So he was asking, why do people hate on you? Why do people hate out on your ads? Why do they do that? Even like the people who come in and talk about him, right? They're hating because they can't imagine that this person that doesn't have all the things that they supposedly have is living their dream.
They hate themselves.
That's right. So it's just better to say all the problems with him, right? They go, how in the world are you able to get on stage? Because no, I don't know. That's what you're trying to say. Right? You see what I'm saying? Well, then they get scared. Well, no, it's just, if it were me, well, why ain't you?
No, I hate it. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not hating, I'm just trying to,
Oh, yes,
I'm
you
just
are.
trying to help you. Yeah, so a funny story is I had my book launch, right? And so I was in Women's President's Organization, my last 2-minute story. So WPO is, you have to do over $1 million to get into that group. So it's kind of like EO, you guys heard of that one? Entrepreneurs Organization, right? So you have to do over $1 million to be in the group. And when I finished writing $1 million equation, I had the launch, all of them got the pre-copies of it first. And during my launch, one of them is calling me off the hook. I'm like, what the hell does she want? But I'm in the middle, right? So I had a live Q&A with people on a Facebook Live, and I was doing all this stuff. And I'm just watching as they're buying. It's like really fun. And I finally finished about 5:30 and I called her back. And she says, you need to stop and pull your book down right now. So what's the matter? She goes, do you realize how many errors are in this book? You should be embarrassed.
You're a boss.
That's what she said. I should be embarrassed. No, I ain't embarrassed. But then
Never fuck me.
it's never fucked me.
It's never fuck me.
Right. Right. So, you know, she still is not doing really well. Right? So you get to do, I should have a t-shirt that says never fuck me.
Just
But
it's
that's
me.
not true.
Yeah. No, no, it's.